Hi all, today we will be learning about SQL injection. So we will not be visiting the basics of this vulnerability as you all know what is SQL injection. We'll try to understand how to exploit this vulnerability with the help of some readily available tools such as SQL Map and Burp Suite. For this activity, we are going to use this online test website. As you can see here, I'm navigating to this web application, clicking all the links which are available on the UI. Meanwhile, at the back end, I have set up my proxy application, Burp Suite. So that will capture all the requests which are made from this UI of the application to backend server. Our intention here is to grab any link which is making some connection with the database. So exploring these product categories, we have come across this link which is trying to fetch the data of a certain category with parameter named as cat, short form of category, having value as 1. So this is trying to fetch the details of this first category from the backend database. Let's try to figure out how the application may be fetching the data from the database. Let's say the query is written in this format to fetch the data on behalf of the category ID submitted from frontend, which may be of a string type or an integer type. Every database query written to fetch data must be of certain format. The best way to identify SQL injection vulnerability is to break that particular format so that the application throws some kind of database error. As soon as we put a single quote into this HTTP request, a database connection error is thrown from the backend server. When application throws such kind of database error, it's possible that there will be some kind of SQL injection vulnerability. Let's open the command prompt and hit SQL map on this particular request. This is a pretty simple script having the name of the tool SQL map followed by you specifying the URL to be tested and -p for the parameter which needs to be tested. Along with SQL injection, SQL map tool can also help us to find some potential cross-site scripting vulnerabilities also. The scan is complete now, confirming that there is a SQL injection vulnerability in this application. This vulnerability can be exploited by 4 different methods. One is Boolean based blind, other is error based, third is time based, and the fourth is union based SQL injection attack. The scan shows complete detail about the application, such as the type of DBMS used, which is MySQL in this case, the operating system used at the backend, which is Linux Ubuntu, and the application technology is using Nginx and PHP. Since the vulnerability is confirmed, we can get more details about the application exploiting this vulnerability. We can find what are the databases present and what are the tables present in those databases. By fine-tuning these SQL map flags, we can get more useful data from the backend database. As soon as you have the information about the database and the table, you can easily see what's there inside the table. Here we are trying to dump the content of the user table. This is the same activity done by actual hackers when they get access to any database while exploiting the SQL injection vulnerability. They make a local copy of the data present in these tables, which may contain PII data also, such as name, phone number, email account ID, along with user ID and the password. So here we have made a copy of the data which was present in the table given above. We can make use of few more flags, such as is the user is the DBA, or what is the name of the current user which is accessing the database. Now we have done manual work to identify potential HTTP requests which may have SQL injection vulnerability. Let's try to figure out another way where we can automate this condition. Now we are going to make use of a tool called Katana. This is a internet web crawler. When we provide a domain name to this particular tool, it gives the list of the URLs which may be having a potential SQL injection vulnerability in them. As you can see, there are so many URLs provided by the app, this particular tool, but we are eager to see those requests which are making some kind of connection with the database, or they are having some kind of parameters in the GET HTTP request. Let's try to filter out potential URL by putting a filter from grep tool. This will give only the URLs which are having a parameter in them. So now we have more refined results. The URL which we have used earlier is also listed here. So let's try to target any of the URL which was not used so far. Now we are making use of artist parameter. So it's a different module called artist.php. It must be noted that SQL map tool manages the session by its own in a session file. When changing the domain name or the module name, it's recommended to flush the old session file and make a new session. We are using a flush session flag here, which will delete the old session file and create a new session. So we have another SQL injection vulnerability in a different module under a different parameter name. Here also we have three different kinds of SQL injection attacks. One is Boolean based, other is time based, and the third is union based. It is to be noted that in the second attack we have not interacted with the UI of the application. The URL used was fetched from an automation tool called Katana. This automation technique is useful in the cases where the attacker does not have access to post login pages. If there is any coding flaw in the application, these post login pages can be accessible via web crawlers, which can later be used to check any possibilities of SQL injection vulnerability. So that's all for today. I hope you like this small manual plus automation done for finding SQL injection vulnerabilities. Till then, keep hunting. Thanks all.